live here on Mike Drop Sports. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers, do they really have a great defense? I want to answer that question today, and we will dive into your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. Forgive me, I just ran back up the stairs to get the show started. Sometimes our hot tub trips when the filter or something sometimes gets clogged or something like that, and I'll have to mess with it and it'll like kick it off. So my wife thought she heard it beeping. So I ran down, checked it, and bam, I'm back, baby. I am back. Got a lot done though. It was a nice day outside today. So I did get a lot done. Let's dive into the live chat a little bit here. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. What's up, Miss P? What's up, Roberta Campbell? Man, I cannot wait until the draft day. It's a lot going on. I was watching the NFL Network. Yeah, there is a lot going on, guys. And we're going to talk about my favorite also. There's two guys that if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'd take in the 2025 draft at the quarterback position if it's me. So we'll dive into that also. Tom, what's up? I can't wait for the draft to be over too, Roberta. I cannot wait. What's up, Stephen Carpenter? Steel City Live. Let's weld, baby. Amen. Let's get to it. American Militia in the house. Tom says, I like the idea of trading back. That is an option, guys. Trading back is absolutely an option. And it's a bigger option in terms of opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you ask me. So we'll dive into that also. We will dive into all this stuff. If Grant and Sanders are both there at 21, who do they take? They'll take Shedeur Sanders. What is the thing that maybe would deter you from taking Shedeur Sanders? Is it his arm strength? What is it? The arm strength, maybe. But I've seen that kid fire the ball deep, so I know he can throw the deep ball. And I know he can put some velocity on it, and I've seen him working out a great deal here in this offseason. So I'm sure that he's been working with professional coaches for a long time now to hopefully maybe increase the velocity on the football. And I think those maybe could be the only couple knocks there, for Shedeur. I think Shedeur's an all-around good player. But in reality, I believe he's taken earlier. I believe the Saints are now in the hunt for somebody after Derek Carr's pretty much probably season-ending injury to the shoulder. So I believe there are teams now maybe in the game here for a quarterback that maybe necessarily weren't in the game for the quarterback position not just a short time ago. So we'll dive into that. What's up, Robert Road in the house? The draft is getting so close. I'm ready for it. Me too. I'm ready for it to be over. Oh, I'm ready for it to be over. So wave those terrible towels, everybody. Steve Winters, what's up? Jason, always a pleasure. Getting very excited to watch the draft. Beer always tastes better. Amen, man. And next year it'll be in the Steel City. So I hope to meet a lot of you down there then. So I hope you guys get really out in full force during that time frame. Next year it will be insane, Tom. It will be. I don't know if they take a quarterback, Roberta, in the first round, but it's a possibility, absolutely. And nobody truly knows right now, guys. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of people in there, out there. Guys, I've been bombarded with emails about is TJ Watt staying? Is TJ Watt going? That's the big thing right now. Guys, TJ Watt will be a Pittsburgh Steeler for his whole career. They'll pay him the money, man. I'm not even going to really entertain it. I just don't think there's anything going on there. I never say never inside of the NFL. I don't say that ever. I'd never, ever, ever say that nothing could ever happen there or a certain situation couldn't happen. I never say that. But definitely, in my opinion, my humble opinion, TJ Watt will not be going anywhere. Why have we not got TJ Lockett or Tyler Lockett? You're talking about Tyler Lockett, Rashad? First of all, he's old. They already have 3 wide receivers that are guaranteed to be on this roster in this order. DK Metcalf as the 1, George Pickens as the 2, and Calvin Austin as the 3. Guys, Calvin Austin is the 3, period. And then they have a rookie that they have high hopes for in Roman Wilson. That's probably why they haven't went out and got an aging guy in Tyler Lockett. They already have a veteran guy in Scotty Miller signed to the roster. So they're going to have Scotty to break glass in case of an emergency and fills in really, really well. They're not going to go out there and get Tyler Lockett, guys. They're not going to get him. It's just not going to happen. So, could it have been a possibility down earlier? Maybe. But that's not going to happen, man. The Steelers will probably draft a wide receiver, another wide receiver. Why not? Because, hey, why not take a chance later in the draft, for sure. Definitely they're not going to bring in Tyler Lockett. That's just my opinion. Cleveland wants Travis Hunter. Yeah, they might, man. They might miss Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm sure he has, Roberta. What is your thoughts on TJ Watt cryptic? I don't. American Militia, there's nothing to it. There is no cryptic message to it. There's nothing. It has been blown out of proportion, and I'm not going to entertain it, really, honestly, because there's just no story there, brother. I would tell you if I really truly thought there was. I would definitely say and talk about it more. We talked about it when it first happened, and again, I don't see anything out there that could really happen with it. Mark Collins, what's up? Lucas Van Dyke, what's up? Za Curry in the house, what's up, Za? Mark Collins, you ain't touching him. Watt for no less than a 1, 2, 3, 5. No way. No way, Mark. No way, man. It would be a 1, I'm sure. No doubt about that. You're right with the 1. But you're not going to get a 1, 2, 3, and 5 for TJ Watt. Nobody will give you that. No way. No way, brother. They'll get a hefty haul, but not a 1, 2, 3, 5. Sorry. Let's go, people. Listen, shout out the like, or hit the shit out of the like button and subscribe and share to the best show in the nation. That's right here on Steel City Live. Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. I appreciate it. Miles was overpaid this year, absolutely, and that sets the bar. And Cleveland is so dumb, man. Cleveland continually sets bars, man. Continually raises the bar in terms of pay in certain positions, and they grossly exaggerate the market for some reason, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's Cleveland, and Cleveland knows this, that if they're going to retain anybody of any type of value, nobody wants to return and give you any type of hometown discount. You're going to have to pay maximum amount of money for anybody that has any value in this league, because nobody wants to come play for the Cleveland Browns. You saw that with the Deshaun Watson deal. They had to give away everything to get Deshaun Watson, and I think that had to do a lot with Deshaun himself. I really, truly do. I know he was traded, but I still think that there was some sort of say on Deshaun Watson's part there. And he probably said, like, look, guys, if I got to go to fucking Cleveland, you better get a fucking bag for me, guys. You better get a bag. And they did. They definitely turned that capital into getting that team into the playoffs. To be real about it. What Cleveland gave the Texans in that year totally changed the fortunes of that franchise. That franchise went from a team that could not be competitive whatsoever to a team that now all of a sudden was playing in playoff games. That's what happened. That's what Cleveland gave away for Deshaun Watson, man. Kyrie and Lacey. Don't know, Deed. I'm trying to think of who that is, buddy. It's so hard for me to remember everybody. If I remember who it is, I'll tell you my thoughts. It's so hard. Name it? No. Please do not ask me to say a name, say a car, say anything for an edit. That is the dumbest thing in the entire world. I don't care about your edits. Don't waste my time. Don't put it in my chat. Tom, hit the like button. Absolutely, Tom. Thank you. Mark Malone, what's up? 1, 2, 3, or 2 first. You think that's what they would get for TJ? I don't, guys. I think they would get a 1 and probably a third. 1 and a third and probably a future 5th, 6th, or 7th type pick. That's what I think they would get. There's no way you're getting multiple top value picks for TJ Watt. Guys, he's over 30. And I understand that. And you're also going to have to pay him $40 million a year, over $40 million a year. When a team trades for him, if that would ever be the case, which this is probably the last thing I say about it because it's not reality. It's not going to happen. And again, you could get yourself a signed TJ Watt, guys, signed jersey. If you guys are scared TJ Watt isn't going to be here, maybe you should grab one of it. grab a membership. You could get a chance at that. Let's keep going. Super chat coming in from Deet. What's up? Thank you, Deet. I appreciate it. Breaking: Chiefs signed free agent Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. Hey, I wonder if he's still wearing his leg braces, if they broke off as he's running to the facility to catch that bag from Andy Reid. Oh, shit, dude. That's funny. Forrest Gump. Browns will never learn. Thank you, Deed. I appreciate you, man. Guys, Deet coming in with the super chat. Super chats are always open. Don't forget to get yourself that Mic Drop Mafia membership, 99 cents a month. Always will be 99 cents a month. That's a great way to help support the channel. And also, if anybody gifts memberships, make sure you got your gifted memberships turned on so you could be a lucky recipient of that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't do the spam. The two receivers, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, both from Iowa State. I love them, guys. I love both of them guys, Mark. I would take both of those guys, definitely. Yeah, I like that one, Mark. You're bald. Read Mark Malone's comment. Steve Carpenter's: Cleveland has given up on going for a championship, so they just like to make other teams spend all their money. Amen, man. They're horrible. What's up, Thomas Breeze? Checking in. If you're ever in Atlanta on a game day, go to Smith's Old Bar. I would try that. Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate that, man. Definitely. If I ever am doing that again, I'll make sure that I touch base so you can remind me of what it is. I have some relatives that live down in Georgia near Atlanta. Za, what's up? Oh, we already said what's up. What's up, JD in the house? What's up, JD? I wouldn't trade him for less personally. Yeah, I think the price tag would be real high too, Mark. That's what I say. Like, the asking price on the Steelers' part should be crazy. Do I think they'll get it? No, but it would have to be super crazy, man. What's up, sleeping lady in the house? Lewis, Eagles only team PA needs. Why? Pennsylvania's a big state, Lewis. I mean, most people in the state are Steelers fans. I mean, it is what it is. We can both coexist. One's in the NFC, one's in the AFC, one's in a tougher conference, one's in a weaker conference. Yes, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so props to the Eagles. They looked really, really good. They won in dominating fashion, no doubt about it. But the Steelers are a legit cornerstone franchise of the NFL. You know what I mean? Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Philadelphia is a shithole, respectfully. It is a shithole, bro. It is. Guys, I went one time to a game at Lincoln Financial Field. I don't even know if it's still called the Link, man. The fans there were so bad. It was the Steelers, Eagles. This was a long time ago. I went there. It was when, I believe, did they have T.O.? No, they might not. No. The Steelers lost. Ben Roethlisberger, needless to say, was sacked a gazillion times that day. It was a horrible day for the Steelers. They got beat. He got sacked 100,000 times. But, man, the fans there were so bad. I had my Steelers jersey on and got beer dumped all over me and shit. It was bad, man. Let's just say this. The security guard saw somebody dump a beer down my back, and they put him in handcuffs and actually took him out of there. It was kind of crazy. So, yeah, the security people were, it was like a cop, security cop. Because somebody must have called them, because usually it's just like the ushers, Somebody must have said, like, hey, man, they're, like, heckling this dude. I didn't say shit. I just took it and kept on whatever. I would turn around and say, what's up, But I didn't say shit. I just kept on, like, eating it, taking it, whatever. And somebody must have, like, said something to one of the ushers, or one of the ushers might have seen it. And there was two security cops up there at the top. They come down and hauled that dude up out of there. It's fucking crazy, man. Kyron Lacey was a LSU player projected to go late first round, and it was announced he committed suicide. Oh, dude, no, I remember who that is, D. Man, that's sad, man. You never know what people are going through, man. I'm nobody to judge anybody, man. You never know what somebody's going through. So definitely, it's man, prayers to his family. That sucks, dude. Never do that, though, guys. In the Bible, it tells you don't do that, man. Don't do that. Do not do that, Gary. Just want my Steelers to have a great 2025 and make the playoffs. Yeah, I want them to do a little bit more than that, Gary. I want to see a playoff win. I mean, it's been a decade, man. It's been bad. Yeah, they've made it to the playoffs, but why make it to the playoffs if you're never going to be competitive? And that was the topic of this show today whenever I asked the fans, and I want to know your opinions on this, guys. Do the Steelers really, honestly, do they have an elite defense? We want to hang our hat on that as Steeler fans. And with the draft rapidly approaching, why is it a bad idea? And why do some fans get kind of their into their feelings when people are talking about possibly drafting a defensive lineman or gaining some more pieces on the defensive side of the football? Why are people ever opposed to that? Yeah, they made a big splash move in free agency, adding DK Metcalf through trade. And that was a monster move, man. DK coming in via trade was big for the Steelers. That was a great addition, and an addition that really made some waves. But now I know the defense was the highest paid defense. Take the money deal out of it. Take the money out of it. Do the Steelers really possess the best defense or a top flight defense? A defense that you can hang your hat on? And the answer to that question is simply nope. They don't, guys. They looked so bad the last 6 weeks of the year. They looked absolutely horrible. And yes, the offense didn't show up either. But the defense didn't do them no favors either, my friends. And I know the stats, and I know what pieces were good. I get that. And you could sit there as a podcaster, as a fan, and you could give me a million reasons why you thought that they did okay. But overall, this is the ultimate team game, guys. This is a team sport. This is all 11 in that unit doing its job out there, making things work. That's what this is about, guys. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively didn't have all 11 pieces to make that thing work last year. There were some real issues. And, things happen. I get it. But that defense, does it have the proper personnel? Or is it lacking schematics? What's your real thought on it? Because the Steelers don't have that right now. Guys, I have to turn my fan on because I am absolutely baking in here. Hold on. Stand by, Mic Drop Mafia. There we go. I'm going to shut the big light out. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to turn that fan on. I had to shut the big light out. All right, guys. Let's dive into that defensive talk like I just brought up. We'll dive into that. I'll read some more of your comments. Hold on. I'll read some more of your comments here in 1 second, but make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button, and sharing the shit out of the show to send us out into that YouTube algorithm here on Mic Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason. As always, the like button's free, guys. Super chats are open, always open, and don't forget to get yourself that Mic Drop Mafia membership, 99 cents a month. Always will be 99 cents a month. Also, guys, we're almost to 100 paid members, man. I think we hit 70. So let's get that up. That's the drive I really want to hit here while we're going. Sleeping Lady, YouTube been deleting my comment a lot, or some stalker is doing it. Not sure, but literally every other comment of mine is disappearing. So probably going to get off this platform, guys. I'm not sure, Sleeping Lady. I usually see them, but if it gets deleted, I wouldn't see it, man. Hope you stay. Hope you at least stay on our show anyway. We always enjoy having you, Sleeping Lady. Mike Miller, what's up? Kevin Lynch, the experts claim we have a great defense, but the Bills and Ravens ran all over our ass the last 2 playoff games. Guys, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the great defense. We have great defensive players, but you don't have a great defensive unit. Maybe you have the players. Maybe the schematics are that bad. So when these catastrophic failures or these defensive limitations that the Steelers have, who do you blame that on? Do you blame that on the players, or are you blaming that on Mike Tomlin? Because this is a Mike Tomlin-led defense, guys. Don't get it twisted. This isn't Terrell Austin's defense. I've told you that before. This is no smoke up your ass. This is a Mike Tomlin defense, period, guys, period. He should have took the notebook from Dick LeBeau because they desperately need it. JD says you can have a great season, but if you don't win the Super Bowl, you fall short of the ultimate goal. Absolutely. And you know me, JD. The only thing that matters to me is collecting trophies. Absolutely. Great seasons don't really translate to great seasons unless it ends with a championship or damn near close, you know. I'm all right saying, you know, you had a good year if you made it to an AFC championship game or you made it to the Super Bowl and lost something. But to have a great season, it's catching rings, baby. It's Lombardi trophy hunting. That's what that's all about. You know what I mean, my friends? American Militia Suicide is no joke. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Guys, don't type that in there. Sometimes YouTube gets crazy with that. It's no joke, but it's crazy if you ask a... I'm not sure what you mean by that one, American Militia. You have to elaborate on that one, brother. Mark Collins. Our defense is good, but defensive line is soft. The secondary needs a starting safety and a young corner. Guys, I'm a little bit down on Minkah, and I'll say that for sure. But I got to take into consideration when I'm thinking of Minkah Fitzpatrick also that he's been grossly misused. I mean, they've had him out in center field. Guys, Minkah isn't Minkah anymore. And again, does this revert back to some of the design? Does this revert back to some of the schematics? And why isn't it being a talking point? Why isn't the national media talking about Steelers' defensive failures and pinning some of that on Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin? Why isn't that the case? I don't understand it. Because if they have so many great players, so many Pro Bowl type players on that defensive side of the football, and some may argue the best defender in all of football in TJ Watt, how in the world are we not trying to cast a little blame onto the schematics? I mean, we have to, don't we? I mean, where is the real deficiency? Is it players? Because, guys, Minkah has been an all-pro most of his career. But, again, he was out in center field all last year, and the year before he was beat up and injured. So, you know, what is it? You know, and I don't agree with what Minkah's making right now with the production that Minkah has. But, again, I got to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt with how the Steelers used him. I think Deshaun Elliott was the best offseason acquisition the Steelers made last year during free agency. He provided such great play back there, and in no way, shape, or form does he need replaced because he played absolutely lights out, guys. Deshaun Elliott was probably one of the top three players in that defense last year, without a doubt, if not one of the top two. Let's be honest about that. Adam O'Neill says, fire Tomlin. DJ Thomas, let's go Steelers, and Mike Drop Sports. Thank you, man. We don't have a head coach. Yeah, we kind of have a cheerleader. Whoop, whoop, Tom. Yeah, man, I had to start that fan. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Roast, I ain't even reading that. Kevin Lynch, I mean, it would help if the offense played a little bit better. But from my observation, they are not great. Yeah, me too, man. And again, I agree with you exactly, Kevin. It would have helped, you know, if the offense played a little bit better. But you know what? They didn't. And neither did the defense. So, you know, we as Steeler fans want to pinpoint one particular problem and act like if they fix that one thing, they all of a sudden are back to being Super Bowl contenders and going and chasing Lombardi trophies. Guys, that's not the case with this football team. It's not. They had deficiencies in the defense, and they had major deficiencies with that offense, and they still lack a definitive answer at quarterback right now, guys. So where is this team? You can't hang your hat on the defense because the answer to the question in the thumbnail, are they really great? No, they're not. So you can't. So there's the answer to that question. And offensively, until they definitively pick a direction in which they are going offensively with the quarterback position, I don't know how this thing will go, because you can't leave Mason out there in limbo. Let him know what he's doing. Carver's roll out. Just say to him, hey, man, this is the real game plan with you. Give him a real definitive answer, in my opinion. That's just what I want with Mason, and they may have already. But I look for the Steelers, honestly. We look at how Omar Khan is really, guys, quietly loaded up in the 2026 draft, and I don't think many people realize it. And I've talked about this for 2 weeks now, since free agency, maybe even more than 2 weeks, since free agency was really hopping, when players were going elsewhere and getting big deals and the compensatory picks were starting to build up. Most of you that come here and watch this show every day, you heard me talk about how this was going to be able to affect the draft. And many of you will say the compensatory picks won't be able to get you moved up in the draft. Guys, that's not what I'm talking about. And I told you this weeks ago. I told you that the compensatory picks allow you to trade your high value draft capital. It allows you to trade a first rounder. It allows you to trade a second rounder. Why? Because it still gives you a draft class. You're still going to be able to dive in with some third round picks, some fourth round picks, guys that you could really find some real value with. That's the thing here, guys. And that's why I don't, again, understand why everyone's overlooking the defensive side of the football and are so opposed to the Steelers going out there and getting defensive help through this draft. And the excuse every time I ask it is, well, it was the highest paid defense last year. Okay, it is what it is. The money didn't matter, guys. That just shows you money don't matter. That just shows you that. Look at a guy like Cooper DeJean. It was a rookie that played in the Super Bowl and had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Guys, that's what I'm telling you. It doesn't always have to be the most high dollar players out there. It doesn't. Go out there in the draft and find guys that fit into your system. Get young inside of your defense. And guess what, guys? The money thing will come down because, you got younger talent there. And then this is another thing. Now that we're talking about money and getting young, this is a natural thing, guys. And I know the Colin Cowards of the world and people like that want to just harp on the highest paid defense. That's all you hear that fucking dude say. Highest paid defense. That's all Pittsburgh wants to do is spend money defensively. It's a natural ebb and flow in the NFL, my friends. When you draft a bunch on one side of the football trying to catch it up to the other side, and that's what you're doing all the time in the NFL. You're trying to play catch up from one side of the ball to the other. Once you get one built back up with a bunch of young talent, then you start to attack back onto the offensive side of the football. Just say this. This is an example. Then you're starting to do what, guys, on the defensive side? Once you start building back onto the offensive side, you start getting older and you start having to pay second contracts. It's a natural ebb and flow of the NFL, guys. You're going to pay in years when the defense is older, you're going to pay them a bunch of money. Why? Because that's what it costs to maintain your guys. And hopefully you're hitting home runs over there on the offensive side of the football. And it's a real art. The draft is a real art, guys, to be able to mix it up enough to always be replenishing the cupboards on both sides of the football. That's the thing. And that's why the Steelers are so keen on trying to retain all their draft picks that they can. Because that's the team that they want. They want to build it through the draft, guys. So that's how that goes. Troy, we need a edge rusher and a run stopper. I don't think you need an edge rusher. I think you have a guy in Herbig that's going to be really, really good as a rusher. When you're talking run stuffers, I think you do. I think you need a guy in the middle that pushes things to the sides, to your Alex Highsmiths, to your TJ Watts, to your Herbigs. That's what you need. Cam and Keanu, they're excellent at what they do, but you don't have that real presence, that real nose tackle, that real definitive guy in the middle of the football field. That's in the middle of the line of scrimmage, in the trenches. You don't have that, and the Steelers really need to get that, guys. We'll see how it goes. They need to go back to Bill Cowher's 3-4 defense, more inside blitzes. More like Dick LeBeau's 3-4 defense. Definitely, they do, Mark. No doubt about it. Definitely. The blitzes. And they do run base 3-4 sets, but they're usually in sub package, and that's all of football. They're always in sub package football right now and defensively. Who should we draft? A player that makes a difference, Italian style. Mark Malone, yeah, those deal holes were standing around pointing fingers at each other mid-season. Yeah, nothing irks me more than to watch grown-ass men making millions of dollars waving their hands in the air trying to blame somebody else for something. It's like, come on, bro. Be professional. Nothing irks me more, man. It takes the confidence they did with Mason in 2023 to help bring confidence to the offense. That's from Tom. Confidence is key, no doubt about it. And when guys have definitive roles carved out for them, that confidence can take another step, man. And that's definitely something that the Steelers need to start realizing. Kristen says, I'm blaming Russell Wilson on the offense. I think Russ was probably, after the season ended, I would say he was probably about fourth on the offensive problem list. So I can't blame Russ fully, but he does shoulder some of the blame. Za says the schematics aren't good enough, especially when a retired player knows the exact defense you're running from his days and how to expose it. Yeah, it's tough, man. They definitely need to be way more exotic. Mark says we need to go back to Casey Hampton, nose tackle, the Collins kid from Texas, same school as Hampton as the guy 6'5". Yeah, I love a big guy in the middle, man. Who was I talking about the other day that could have been a sleeper pick? That was Alfred Collins. And where is he from? He was out of Texas. Is that who you're talking about? Oh, yeah, that's who you're talking about. Yeah, Mark, that's who I mentioned on the show the other day. I don't know if you were listening. Yeah, what is he? 6'5", 320. I had him right here still in my book from the other day when we did the show. Alfred Collins, I think, could be a big-time sleeper pick. He has some deficiencies. I think he's a little slow in his first step, but I think you can get that to be a little bit quicker with some coaching. I think you can coach some of those things out of him. Hayward said, if one person isn't doing their job, then it affects the whole team. If one quarterback is leaving a guy wide open every play, yeah, no doubt about it, man. Defenses, they got to all be working as one unit, man. It's really hard to hide deficiencies defensively, guys, because it's like you remember watching the movie Jurassic Park, and they were talking about the Velociraptors, and they were talking about their intelligence. And what does an intelligent, good offensive coordinator do throughout the course of a football game? What do they do, guys? Remember when they said Velociraptors would do what? They would test different parts of the fencing, right? Because they were so smart. They would test different parts of the fencing to find the weakness, to find the spot that they could take advantage and get through. They could take advantage of the poor setup. That's what they did. And if good offensive coordinators in the NFL, that's what they do. They take a defense and they pick at it. They try different things. They mix it up, guys. They don't do what the Steelers do and run the same fucking thing over and over and over and over and over and over. They don't do that. Good offensive coordinators mix things up because what are they doing? They are testing for weaknesses throughout the course of the ball game. And once they find that weakness, they exploit it. That's what good offensive coordinators do. Also, good quarterbacks and good offensive coordinators, they put themselves in the lab each week, man. They're in the film room and they are watching game after game after game of that defense that they are coming up to play, and they are trying to find weaknesses in the system, and they are going to attack it. But the Steelers don't do that offensively. The Steelers literally line up and run the same dumb shit week after week without adjustment. That's a coaching problem. That's a conservative problem on Mike Tomlin's part. That's him being ultra conservative. And I really believe handcuffing his coordinators, because I don't think Arthur Smith is that stupid that he would just sit there and run the same shit over and over if he wasn't on marching orders. Guys, he just got fired as a head coach a couple years ago now. Do you think for 1 minute he's going to come in there and just try to run the same shit and do something dumb like that? And if he is, fire his ass because, man, you don't want that guy in your room. And Mike Tomlin should be able to recognize that as the head coach if that's the case. There's an issue there. Either Mike Tomlin's too stupid to realize what's going on, or Arthur Smith's too stupid, or whoever the coordinator's been over the years has been too stupid to understand what's going on. And then Mike Tomlin's just allowing that stupidity to go on. So those are the only two answers there, guys, of why the offense is so bad. Those are it, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news for all the podcasts out there, because that is the real truth and reality of it. That's the real, honest shit right there. It's not rocket science. There's not 1,000 things to talk about when it comes to what's wrong. It comes down to real simple things, guys. And when you're talking about on the field stuff with the players, the trenches, they haven't been good enough. The quarterback position hasn't been good enough. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just saying, guys. They have no safeties after the 2025 season other than Fitzpatrick and his $70 million contract. He isn't worth it. I'm agreeing with the contract. I think it's far too high for what he's doing, but I think they need to let him play too. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, but I definitely agree with you. Deshaun Elliott's a guy too. If he has another bang-up year, they're going to have to pay buku bucks for him, because people are going to see that. The world saw it last year when he was an absolute monster, So, yeah, drafting a safety, would it be bad? No. I'm all for, man. I'm all for depth. I'm not opposed to drafting somebody at a position that you already have a veteran guy at. I'm not opposed to that. I think so too, Mark. What's up, Danny George in the house? Mark Malone, what does the stink account against the cap in 2025, 2026? I believe it's around 18 million, Mark. I don't look for that to continue, but we'll see. West Coast Berg, why are we waiting on an old toxic quarterback? It's obvious they don't take that position seriously. Every team has their quarterback now. Same old crap. Because the Steelers, honestly, guys, their plan doesn't change whether Aaron Rodgers is there or not. And that's the thing. And I know a lot of fans are frustrated saying, why are we waiting on this guy? Why are the Steelers doing this? Because, guys, their plan doesn't change. They're going to continually draft a young guy until they hit. That's just what's going to happen. They're going to do that, guys. They will draft a quarterback in this draft. They will draft a quarterback next draft. I just truly believe that. Until they find somebody that they're comfortable with, that's what's going to happen. And I believe they can find somebody in the next 2 years. But again, their plan doesn't change. Mason's the 2, no matter what, if Aaron Rodgers comes. And if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come, Mason's the 1, young guy 2. Aaron Rodgers comes, Aaron Rodgers 1, Mason 2, young guy 3. That's how it's going to work, guys. Their plan doesn't change drastically any which way, shape, or form. That's exactly what they're going to do. And that's why I'm going to tell you who I think the 2 best quarterbacks in this draft are for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not talking about any other team. I'm talking about the 2 best quarterbacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025. And that is one, Tyler Shuck, and another, Will Howard. Those 2 guys are the 2 jewels of this draft for the Steelers. We're going to eliminate Shador. We're going to eliminate anybody else because I think they'll be taken before the Steelers get a chance to do it. That's what I think. And again, I truly believe Tyler Shucks is going to be the best quarterback to come out of this draft. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. That's my opinion. But again, 2 guys that could really be available that are realistic options for the Steelers, in my opinion. Realistic options without going through any, will this player slide? What about the Steelers trading up? What about the Steelers doing all this hypothetical shit? What's the real 2 options without any hypothetical bullshit involved? Will Howard and Tyler Shuck. They are the 2 realistic options that the Pittsburgh Steelers have right in front of them right now, and that is what they should focus their attention on, guys, because those are the realistic options that they have. No bullshit. That's it. That's really what they have at their disposal right now. The 2 best ones, anyway. Are there other guys they could get later? Absolutely. No doubt about it. But realistically, guys that could really come in and I think make a difference are Tyler Shuck and Will Howard. I really, truly believe that. Now, if all the hypothetical bullshit happens and somebody's at your feet and you want to take a chance on them, be my guest. I'm not opposed to drafting 2 quarterbacks in this draft, to be real with you. Especially if Aaron Rodgers don't come. I'll draft 2. I don't care. You never have too many. Rubber Road, they need to extend Elliott ASAP. He was outstanding last year. Yeah, they need to not do what they've done with TJ Watt. Guys, they should have signed TJ Watt last year. They really screwed themselves, man. They would have probably paid $34, $35 million per season for TJ. And right now, everybody would be screaming out how great of a deal it was. That's the reality of that situation. And instead, they waited and they waited and they waited. And here we are. Here we are. That's the thing. You're going to have another repeat of his last contract year when, things were really, really edgy and tough. And it stretched out for a long period of time, well into the summer. But again, they got it done, and I believe it to be true this time. But they could have saved themselves probably about $15 to $20 million on that contract easily by signing him last season. So that's neither here nor there. Hopefully they'll maybe take a page out of that book and learn a lesson from that and maybe reach out to Deshaun Elliott's representation and say, you know what, you played really, really good football for us. Let's get you an extension here this summer. 2 years, $20 million, $10 million per. I would take that for Deshaun Elliott. I think he really deserves it or played really, really well. Maybe 7.5, maybe 8 even. Maybe you could get away with that. I'm just throwing random numbers out there. I really have to look at his current contract, his current money, and go back through the play and really give it a true assessment about it. But just guessing numbers. I don't know, American Militia. I don't know enough about that. I have no clue. It's not taboo for me. I mean, I think it's very serious, no doubt about it. I just didn't understand what you were meaning, No, I think it's a very, very touchy situation, man. Mark Malone, the answer is 23.3 mil and 24 mil. Wow, that's for Minka? I didn't know, man. I was guessing. I thought it was 18 million, Mark. I didn't have it up in front of me. I could have looked it up, but I thought I was pretty accurate. Wow, Mark, that contract must have been heavy on that back end. Mark Collins says they need to build this team this year, roll with Rudolph, and then go get your 2026 quarterback draft, Schuck or Howard in the 4th round. Yeah, I don't think either one's going to be available in the 4th. I think you would have to do it in round 3, and they have 1 round 3 pick. So, man, I think that round 3 might even be stretching it because these 2 guys are climbing up the draft board. But they are realistic options, no doubt, and I agree. Big C, draft defense next year. I think you need to draft defense this year, too. I think you need to get a defensive lineman, man. Cam ain't getting no younger. You have no real run-stopping force up in the middle. And that defense isn't good. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. It has good pieces, but it's not a good unit. Colin Coward, Stephen Smith, Chris Collinworth. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind Stephen A. Smith. At least he's real. But Chris Collinworth, bleh. Colin Coward, bleh. I don't know how anybody gave Colin Coward a job. Like, why do people even watch that dude? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Mark Collins, take that $45 million from Rodgers, build defense and offense. Travis Hunter going to the Ravens. No, he's not, Alanti. Absolutely not. Wave that terrible towel from his Pittsburgh. All right, let me go back down in the chat here and get some other people some chances. I've read some of the other ones. Andre Dudley, that comes from the top. It's a reason he is still there, being a yes man. My Floyd is pink 79. Do you think we will get rid of TJ? Nah, I talked about that. If you want to hear me talk about that, my Floyd is pink. I talked about that at the beginning. He's not going anywhere. I know Dante had 5 interceptions, but everyone still harped on him. I must have missed the part where he fell off, losing 5 in a row. Um, that back injury, he just wasn't available, Za. And that's the problem. He wasn't able to play that physical brand of football that the Steelers really want to play. Uh, yes, the interceptions were fabulous, no doubt about it. The turnovers are great part of his game. But the back injuries have to be a major concern. It's been something that's really nagged him, and that's something the Steelers really can't take a chance on signing somebody that they know has a back that's just probably not the greatest. That's my theories. Kevin Lynch, I would just pick the best player available in the first round. That's how my philosophy is, Kevin. No doubt about it. Thank you, Tom. Smash the like button. Jonathan Stevens, we are in here. Absolutely. Robert Rowe. Will Howard was awesome on John Gruden's YouTube channel. Well worth the watch. Gruden absolutely loved him. Yeah, really smart, guys. Howard is really smart. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Mark Malone, it was actually 23.3, 24.4, and yeah, they restructured him once at least. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're thinking, man. That's a lot of bread for Mink. We need to bring in Joe. Oh my God. Big C, would you take Campbell out of Alabama? Queen was average at best. I think Patrick Queen played really, really well for the first year inside of a system, being the green dot guy, Big C. I hear what you're saying, and there's definite room for improvement, bro. And I wouldn't be opposed to taking somebody else. But let's not forget, I think Peyton Wilson's going to be a real star in this league. I think they have somebody in him that's going to be able to play the pass really, really well, and we'll see how his run stuff can get its way worked out. But I think Patrick Queen, again, had some moments of definitely could have played better. But being the green dot inside of a brand new system on your first year of a free agent contract that you got good money to come in and play, one of the biggest free agent acquisitions for your team throughout the offseason. I feel like with the pressure on his shoulders, with what was riding on his shoulders, I felt like he really stepped up to the plate, and I think you're just going to see an even better version of Patrick Queen in 2025, no doubt about it. I definitely am not concerned with Patrick Queen. I think he's going to be really, really good for the Steelers, and I think he was well worth the money in the contract that they paid him in 2024. All right, guys, let's keep going here. Roberta Campbell, I agree with about Rodgers' money mark. Yeah. Guys, we don't even know what they're going to pay Rodgers. I heard it's 40, but that's neither here nor there. Guys, we got to remember about the salary cap. And I just want to always remind you, and I've said this many, many times, and I just want to say it again. The salary cap is easily manipulated. It's a fictitious number. They can come up with ways to sign anybody. That's why I said, don't worry about the money for TJ. And if they do decide to sign Aaron, they got the money to do it, guys. I'm just telling you, they do. Trust it. They'll make it happen. What's up, Pickens Metcalf? What's up? What's up, Cyrus? Joe Green. That's my all-time Cyrus. I've said that before on here. But that's my favorite. Mark Collins, don't forget. M. Harrison. He is a tackling machine. Let's keep going. Someone will find it funny. I just don't want to read your name, Boswell. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. That boss, the back part of your name, Boswald. I forget what you put in there about Yancey Thigpen and shit. I'll get you next time, man. Those numbers reflect quite a bit of money that they have already paid Minka lots of dead money on the cap because they kicked the money down the road. Okay, so some of that, yeah, I don't know how that would work with his. I didn't really dive into his contract. I thought roughly in cash value that they owed him about 17 or 18 million this year. But I could be dead wrong on that. But his cap hit is what Mark said. I'm sure that's his cap hit, but what he's actually getting paid. I mean, guys, nobody's signing free agents right now either. That's not going to happen. And they'll sign people after the draft, I'm sure. But I'm sure with what that money's going to go to, TJ Watt, players like that, that's what that's going to go to. You know, I mean, they got to spend what 95% of it every year. They can only like reserve 10% or something. I don't know. That DK got paid, and he didn't. You're talking about TJ. I don't think he's really caring about that. I just think it's like, look, we should have got this done already, kind of deal. PQ is getting 17 million and was missing tackles, and he had my gears grinding. But it's the first year, so some slack is cut. I thought he's only making 15s, though. I didn't know I don't think he's making 17. I mean, still, what's the difference, I guess? When you're making 15, 17 million, it's like shit, bro. That's a lot of bread, man. I'd love to have that. Dags187, I pray we don't draft Shador. Why is that, Zach? Dags? Shador's quality, dude. I'm not going to hate on Shador. I think Shador's a good guy. No, it don't, no doubt about it, man. Ryan Stevenson says, unbelievable with Rodgers' situation, ain't it? Boy left y'all in limbo. I don't think it's limbo. I don't think it is anything like that. I really, Ryan, honestly, I just feel like it really doesn't matter, guys, for the Steelers. It really doesn't. And I was upset about it as first, like everybody else. Like, man, you're the Steelers. Like, what the fuck, But then I really thought about it. And guys, honestly, it does not matter to the Steelers any which way, shape, or form what Aaron Rodgers does. Robert Rhodes says, after the draft, there will be a few signings, and then the next big signing will happen after June 1st cuts. Yep, you're right. Exactly, Robert. Fitzpatrick cap hit in 2026 is $22.35 million. Wow, man, that's a lot, Mark. That's a lot, bro. No doubt about it. All right, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you've hit that shit out of it. Otherwise, we got to monetize the show when we do that. When we mean by monetize, that means puts ads in it. If we don't hit that like button a bunch, that means I got to put those ads in there. Why? I don't know. Just try to make up for it, I guess. I try to be ad-free because I want you guys to beat the shit out of the like button and like your creators for not putting ads in your shit. Pay TJ, get defensive tackle, then cornerback, then QB. That's from Jonathan Stevens. Tom, will they pay GP to keep the deadly wide receiver combo? That's going to be really remain to be seen. But guys, they can control George Pickens for 2 seasons. This year's his last year of his deal, and then they can franchise tag him. So they can control him. Will they sign him? The chances are him being here long-term are no. But again, they can control him for 2 years due to the franchise tag. So they could get 2025 and 2026, depending. Say the Steelers are on a roll and they want to keep that together. They'll happily give him that franchise tag for 1 more year and maybe another run at a Lombardi or something. You never know what the situation is when it pops up. Thank you. Jonathan says like and subscribe. Ryan Stevenson says Shador is quality. I'd take him over Ward. Me too, man. I don't like Cam Ward. I don't think he's that great. I mean, I don't dislike him. I don't know him. I just would, my personal opinion, I want a guy like Shador. He knows how to handle it. He knows how to handle the media circuses, the fame. This kid's been on TV for a long time, playing football on TV for a long time. Does everybody remember when he played in Texas high school football, and that was on TV for a long time? So come on, guys. This guy knows how to deal with the fame. He knows how to deal with the pressures. The lights aren't going to be too big for Shador. So that's something that has to be taken into consideration. Kevin Lynch, they could run verticals down the field with Metcalf and Pickens. Mason does have a cannon arm. Absolutely, Kevin. And what is that going to open up, though? And I think a lot of people are discounting this. It's going to open up a lot of things underneath because you're going to require with DK and GP, you're going to require help over the top on them. It's very hard to play one-on-one football with George Pickens and DK Metcalf at the same time, which is going to allow guys like Calvin Austin, guys like Pat Freiermuth, to really eat, guys. And it's going to open up running lanes for Jaylen Warren, and it's going to reflect on this offensive line, too, because teams aren't going to be able to load up on the front end in that box area on the Steelers like they were in 2024, 2023, 2022, because you're going to have to respect the pass in a big, big way. You're not going to be able to just sit up there in the box and play smash mouth football against the Steelers. The Steelers are going to be able to put you on your heels and make you play over the top, respecting coverage for their guys on the edges. So when you do a regular live stream like this, the ads won't affect it midstream, but when you do the live stream the other way, the ads pop up. I don't know exactly how you live stream differently, but when I do it like this, I turn the ads off. But if I'm on the other way, if I'm streaming through like StreamYard or something, it puts the ads in. Or if I do a live show, there will be pre-recorded show, there are ads in there because I'm monetized channel, so they put the ads in there. But when I do it this way, I keep it ad-free for you guys, but I want the likes to go up, because I do make money off of ads. When people watch ads, I make money off that. But I forfeit that money because I want you guys to hit the like button. So it is what it is. I turn the ads on after the show. I turn them on, but it is what it is. But we are going to be switching, guys. I'm still in the hunt for a producer. I'm still in the hunt to get that going. So we'll see what goes on here in the near future. But we're going to be switching up, not be doing it this way. We're going to go into a more professional way of this thing and get things done, be a little bit more top shelf. But I appreciate you guys. You guys have helped build this so crazy, man. It's absolutely awesome. We're almost up to 5,000, man. So let's get there. All right, guys, I got to jump off here, man. We've been going for almost an hour. So thank you. Thank you for joining us here on Steel City Live. Don't forget to get those Mafia memberships. Super chats are always welcome. I wanted to thank Beer Malls. He sent me a super chat just randomly the other day. Thank you, Beer Malls. It was like $20 super chat. We truly appreciate that, man. Truly just out of the blue, just onto one of our random posts. So that was awesome. Yeah. Oh, you're creating a channel? That's awesome, Za. Hey, let me know when you do it, Za, and I'll come always throw you some support, man. Appreciate you. All right, man. It's a long journey, Za. If you do it, don't give up on it. It's going to be discouraging a lot of the times. Like, I'm discouraged with it right now, but I just keep on pressing on. So, what's up, Daniel? Thank you, man. All right, guys. Thank you. Till tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Steel City Live, only here on Mike Drop Sports. Peace, my friends.